Looking to land a new job? Don't do what these people did. Stay tuned for 20 cringe-worthy things you shouldn't say during a job interview.
I was asked once in a job interview, "What do you see yourself doing after being here for 1 year?" I replied, "Doing your job." I did not get hired.
Don't say doing your wife. Don't say doing your wife. Don't say doing your wife. Doing your son?
I said that to my boss, who was several pay grades above my direct manager, when I was 19 on a drunken work party. We worked in banking, if that matters. He asked where I saw myself in 5 years. And my exact arrogant words were, "Doing your job better than you did, because I learned from you." He laughed and said, "The job really isn't that hard and you couldn't do it much worse, to be honest." So, are there cameras that overlook the register?
Hey, what are you doing after work?
It's on my resume.
Was conducting an interview one time and got the complete opposite. I asked the interviewee a question about something in their resume. They responded by snatching the resume out of my hands and saying, "I didn't know that was on there. They made one for us in class and I didn't read it." Like, what?
Ask about their drug testing policy.
I once had an interview randomly go into the specifics of their drug testing policy. Specifically that they don't actually do randoms, regardless of what it says. That was a pretty chill job.
Back in university, I interviewed for a graduate role in a reputable organization. Everything was going well, and I was confident I had answered every question appropriately. The interview was coming to an end, and the interviewer asked me to speak about a time I thought outside the box to solve a problem. I completely froze and genuinely did not know what to say. So I made up a story about how I was caught by cops while driving, and bribed my way out. Well, I never got called back. I wonder why? I need money.
Worked for me once. I was asked, "Why do you want this job?" My reply was, "I could sit here and bullshit you like every other person does, but I just need a job and need cash." I wasn't even bothered if I didn't get the job, so I wasn't really caring at that point if they turned me down. You can't lose what you don't already have. I got a phone call a week later asking me when I could start.
True story. If I get the job, can I have time off on Tuesday? I still plan to claim unemployment benefits, and that's when my appointment is.
Too much of anything. Be a good, active listener and give focused, cogent responses to their questions. Limit what you say to only addressing what was asked. Don't add all sorts of other information and details that you think will impress them. If you don't understand what exactly they are going for, you don't have to act like that's part of a test. Don't answer 9 different ways at once, just ask them to elaborate on what specifically they want you to address.
In addition to this, show them the often overlooked respect of talking to them like they're a human being.
I get what the minimum wage is, but what is the maximum wage?
My brother once said he got fired from his last job for being late. He figured being honest would get him the job. He was very wrong.
I'm gonna like working here. Y'all got a load of chicks with big racks.
Do not ever badmouth the interviewer or their questions. If the question is inappropriate, take action. Otherwise, there are no stupid questions from the interviewer. I once asked a candidate a programming question and they said to me, "That's a stupid and easy question." I wasn't expecting that on an interview. To be fair, it was a very easy question meant to build the candidate's confidence. The candidate went on talking in circles and did not actually answer the question. After what felt like 10 minutes, I interrupted and asked, "If it is an easy question, can you solve the problem?" They looked at me with shock, like I had asked them something awful. The rest of the interview was a complete waste of time. We scheduled this candidate to be interviewed by 6 of us. I was number 2. However, I excused myself briefly, gave a disapproved gesture, and the first interviewer agreed. I walked the person out. That was the second time I had to walk someone out of an interview prematurely.
We had an applicant for a faculty position actually say to the college president that he was looking forward to a job where he could kick back and relax. When they describe the job and ask if you're still interested, never say anything like "I'm not sure." You can always say no when they make an official offer.
Me and 2 of my colleagues, both women, We're interviewing a recent college grad for a relatively good job for someone right out of school, office-based, corporate gig, 60k in a mid-cost area, and this was like 15 years ago. One of the women asked him what motivates you to do a good job. And he answers sex and money. Clearly intended to be a joke, but no one laughed. No one responded for like 10 seconds. So awkward.
When they ask you if you are going to be comfortable running a $5 million instrument, you do not say, "Hope y'all got insurance."
I was 17 and interviewing for a telemarketing job in sales. The man interviewing me was in his 40s or 50s and in a really nice suit. Only my second interview so far in life, and he asked me what was one of my weaknesses. I froze up, unprepared. Answered, "Sometimes I tend to pass gas." He looked shocked for a few seconds and then started laughing hysterically. I got the job, but I still absolutely do not recommend saying this.
Farting never stops being funny.
I was helping a colleague out once and offered to interview potential candidates with him. One of the questions he asked was, "Outside of work, how would your friends describe you?" The interviewee turned around and said, "Honestly, a bit of a dick."
What do you think is the worst thing someone could say in an interview? Let us know in the comments below. And be sure to like and subscribe for the best from Left on Reddit.